You deaf? No order, no entry. Seal looks real enough. Fine. Go on in. But don't cause trouble. We don't take kindly to outsiders sticking their noses where they shouldn't.
Hey, you! GeForce sent you, didn't he? To summon us for the moot. Just because we live up in the mountains doesn't mean we don't know what's happening in the wider world. Well, that works out perfectly. My father's been looking for someone for outside the tribes to help him with... something. That's all I know. He didn't tell me much, but he sounded really serious. He told me to bring the first person I came across. His name is Strana. Please, go meet him at his forge. You can't miss it.
Oi, don't I know you from somewhere? Aye, that's it. I knew you looked familiar. It's good to see a fellow survivor from that cursed hole. Tell me, friend, how did you manage it? That hooded fellow helped you, didn't he? I need to know everything. If you've got the guts to dislike the man who saved your life, he must have really done something to rub you the wrong way. You know, among the Dalriada, when someone saves your life, you owe them a debt until you can repay it. Usually by saving theirs. But now that I think about it, you don't have to like them. Respect is enough. So tell me, what's happening in the wider world? Sounds about right. That's why I wanted to get back to my own people. Why should I risk my neck for outsiders? They've always treated us Dalriada like we're some necessary evil. Sure, they're nice enough when you're useful, but once it's over, they look at you like you're a stray dog. Nay thanks. Dalriada will always be Dalriada, even if they're not my own tribe. Who knows? I wasn't here when Camelot attacked my tribe. I was already rotting in the asylum. If I had been, they wouldn't have pushed us back to the keep, or maybe I'd have died an honourable death. I only know this. Thrigva forbade it, and the Ulfrats obey him like hounds chasing their master, even now in his current form. Not my chieftain, not my problem. We Gunvalder worshipped our own giant. Wasn't exactly lively when I left the village, but now it's glowing. No one knows why. The Thoid called it a blessing. Told all the Dalriada they should rejoice. But if you ask me, they got scared. Maybe that's why no other tribe helped. Not Ulfr, not Volker, nor even Thoid, who told us to be happy about our giant. You're joking? One Eye's rebellion actually worked? Ha! Now that's a twist I didn't see coming. Never cared for One Eye, but credit where it's due. He pulled off something impressive. Now all that's left is to rally the other tribes, get word to One Eye, and boom! We've got ourselves a foothold in the south. Good. It's about time. These tribes have had their heads so far up their own arses, acting like their problems are the only ones that matter. But who doesn't have problems, eh? Back in Arthur's time, we stood as one. Now, we're so damn stubborn we can't see past our own noses. It's bloody senseless.
No. You're not a Dalriata. And you're too scrawny. Wouldn't make much of an impression. I was thinking of knocking you flat in a fight, so Concha would see it and say, bloody hell, that Thyka's strong. I'd love to wrestle her. But with you, it just wouldn't work. No. This needs someone with a bit more meat on their bones. But thanks for the offer. Just look at him. Those shoulders, like he could tear limbs off. Those massive fists must have crushed dozens of skulls. And the scars. Look how long and thick they are. He's taken so many blows and he's still walking, breathing, like nothing ever happened. What does that matter when he's as strong as an Ulfa? Sure, there are things he still needs to learn about us, but I'd help him with that. How else could it be? What do your people do when they want to, you know? Look at me. Can you picture me writing romantic letters? Then you might need your head checked. Handkerchiefs? Like he's got a cold? How the hell does a handkerchief show him I can fight? Well, I could give him a good wallop. I'm no good at talking. I'd forget what I wanted to say. And he'd think I'm thick. He probably already thinks that, with me just sitting here, staring at him. And the women don't fight. They just sit and watch. Mata, I'd die of boredom. Our chieftain, what's there to say? He's the strongest, so he leads. Even if the giant hadn't marked him, no one would have matched him. Until next time.
I'll be. I'd offer you my hand, stranger, but with the stone sleep taking me away, I reckon that's not the best idea. Still, I'm glad to see a new face before I leave this world behind. Especially someone with such a rare way about them. My name is No Leg. You're the last living soul outside my kin to hear that name. Oh no. I'm just fine with how things are. Well, I am a stone warden, and by our custom, a day comes when a stone warden begins to slip into the stone sleep. We give ourselves to the ore. Stone our forebears carved through for ages, raising halls and strongholds from its heart. We become yet another monument to the forlorn swords. That depends on who you ask. Me, I feel no pain, just peace. I knew what I was signing up for. Every stone warden does. But not all see it the same way. My family passed long ago, so I leave no one behind. But Olaf, he still has his daughter, Fuska. And she's been arguing with Darvan for weeks now, fighting over what should become of her father. It's a deeply personal thing, different for everyone. I've known stone wardens who felt the first signs of the stone sleep at dawn, and by the next dusk, they were already searching for the place they'd turned to stone. And I've known others where it took years. There's no rule to it. I don't count the days anymore, but I can feel it's nearly time for me to choose a place for myself. When the time draws near, one makes the journey to a place where they wish to fall asleep. And finally, when their body can no longer move or feed itself, their kin tend to them, feeding them, offering water, leaving gifts, and keeping vigil as the sleep takes hold. One of the finest stone wardens I've known had a habit of diving headfirst into any hole he spotted underground. Nothing could stop him. Fuska doesn't agree with our tradition. Understandable. She doesn't want to lose her father. But the poor girl doesn't understand that being called to the stone is the highest honor for a stone warden. Darvan is the leader of the Stone Wardens, and right now, maybe the most important man in the tribe, since Tryggvi's no good for anything anymore. You tell me. I don't know what it is exactly, but there's something different about you. They say the stone sleep makes folk more attuned to the rare and unusual things in this world. Seems you carry one of those in you. Let's not talk nonsense, all right? Farewell, traveller. It was good to see a new face in the Ulfer village. Who knows? Maybe I'll still be around to see your coming bear some fruit.
You're in the Hall of Remembrance, in the seat of the Stone Wardens. My name's Ast. I look after this place. Try not to make noise, or touch anything. Yes, it's a hall, where symbols of remembrance for our ancestors are kept. Oh, all sorts. Best if you take a look yourself. You're here, so I probably can't tell you more than you already know. Yes. Very likely. I spend a lot of time near the weird stone. That and weird steel, yes. But it takes time. And they turned into stone, yes. They were. As well as master craftsmen. Old Eirg, who was the first to describe the properties of weird steel. They're not statues. They're Dilrida, who've entered the stone sleep. The name says it all, really. It's the sleep Dilrida fall into at the end of their lives, when they turn to stone. Various Dilrida who earned honor in the Stone Wardens. I don't know if their names will mean anything to you. Alright. That sculpture is Glimhildir Ironfinger. Ring any bells? Great. Then I don't need to tell you about her. I keep things in order. And I guard this place, and the memory of the Stone Warden's history. Yes. Though in the Stone Wardens, tribal ties don't matter much. Goodbye. Goodbye.
I wouldn't come any closer if I were you. Because I said so. And here in the official hall of the Stone Wardens, my word is law. Leave in peace. I'm not granting an audience. Ah, your powers of observation are truly impressive. A nice piece. I recognize GeForce's design. Is this his way of telling me you're worth my time? Bold and straightforward. Qualities we look for among our own. But there's one problem. You aren't of Dalrita blood, which means the grace of the Stone Dream won't be granted to you. So, I can't admit you to our ranks. Our ancient laws say you might, yes, but they're called ancient laws, not simply laws for a reason. If you achieved something great, say a feat of war, the Elder Council might allow you to walk the path, provided someone would stand in as your father. But as I said, it's no old dead law. Our tribes aren't exactly known for their hospitality, let alone naming outsiders as kin. Once, yes, Camelot had written him off, and he joined the knights that never came. Their tomb lies here, at the Forlorn Swords. He never returned to Camelot because he embraced our ways and chose to stay. No surprise he didn't feel like going back to the capital. Don't fool yourself into thinking you'll repeat his story. He barely completed his path, and not a single one of our women would lie with him. And so, that night's line ended. Ah, that's a different matter. I see no reason you couldn't take on our tasks and make use of our resources. If you prove useful to us, and if you've won GeForce's favor, I'm willing to risk giving you a small task. To prove your worth to the Stone Wardens, you must find a weird stone vein. I assume you know what it is. It used to be the first task for any prospective member of our Brotherhood. These days, most deposits are depleted, so the task is a bit harder. I can tell you where to start searching. There was once a rich vein in an old mine to the north. It may yet run deeper. We abandoned it a century ago, so I can't say exactly what you'll find inside, but I can guarantee you'll find something. And on that note, if I were you, I'd bring my best weapon. Until next time.
Welcome. Goodbye.
stranger among the Ulfr. I don't yet know how to read this omen, but I'll be keeping an eye on you, outsider. Though I'm not sure anything worse than Thrigve could befall us. My name is Erland. I am the seer of the Ulfr tribe, although it seems few among us have any need for a seer. Folk would sooner put their faith in steel than in me. I don't know if I should speak about our fall with a stranger, but for some reason you were allowed among us. So you'll have your answer. Thrigve has taken hold of the power of the giants, something no human should ever wield. To surrender oneself to such forces is inhuman. It's a spit in the face of Mather. Man was not meant to meddle with what lies beyond his fate. Because that's what it is. Not a trial, not a misstep, a fall. When a man trades his soul for strength not meant for him, he drags more than just himself into the abyss. I had a vision of what would await our tribe if nothing changes. We'd all end up as twisted wretches. The first omen has already come. The red eye. I saw it. It was watching me, just beyond our village. Have you ever heard of the Beholders, outsider? They were beings that dwelt deep in the dark beneath the earth. The Foredwellers made them a promise to lead them out of that darkness. They promised the Beholders they would see the light, so the creatures followed that false light. They trusted the Foredwellers and were twisted by the weirdness. They put their faith into something beyond their grasp. I believe Thrigve, reaching for the power of the giants, is doing the same, placing his trust in the wrong promise. I saw the red eye of a beholder. If nobody stops them, those abominations will crawl out again and twist us, just as they were once twisted. Is that so? Then perhaps your arrival can bring more than ill tidings. I saw the red eye on the slopes, just beyond the village, while I was foraging in the snow for roots to use in my rites. I think that's where you should begin your search. After they were infected with the weirdness, the Foredwellers turned them into weapons. I once read some old Del Rida records, accounts of our ancestors being slaughtered by those foul things during the wars with the Foredwellers. A terrible fate awaits those who've had any dealings with the giants or the Foredwellers. The Gunvalder believed that their giants started to awaken and were slaughtered by Camelot. The Thoids gave their faith to a giantess, and they stained themselves with vile magic, turning their backs on the old faith in Mather. Tread carefully.